So I'm here in the studio where I normally shoot these desktop photos for our retailers like Amazon, Newegg, and usually I'll shoot them at two different heights. One is at the base, shooting upwards, and then one is somewhere in the middle where it's a little bit more balanced and neutral. Now the problem that I'm facing is that I'm shooting these photos on a tripod, like this one right here, this Manfrotto one, and I often have to go and switch between these two different heights, and to do that on a tripod is pretty inconvenient. Sometimes I'm not using the legs that it's fully extended, it's sometimes somewhere in the middle, or I have to adjust the center column, and then it may throw off the balance of the tripod itself. And to keep things consistent, sometimes they're just off ever so slightly, and it's not the best. Even though it may not take that much time, maybe 30 seconds or a minute to readjust the tripod, it's hard to keep things consistent, and all of those add up a lot over time, especially if I have a lot of different desktops or products that I have to shoot. What I have here today is something from Studio Titan, which I hope will help reduce the amount of time that I spend switching the height of the camera, as well as keeping things consistent while I'm photographing the products. So I have 3 packages. Let's go ahead and start with the smallest and lightest one, which feels like this one right here. This looks like it's the accessory shelf where you would put a laptop on, which is one of the main reasons why I got this, or I chose this, because initially this was for doing a tethered shooting demo at Adobe Max, or that was the plan. Tethered shooting to one of our laptops, just to showcase how our laptops work in conjunction with Adobe products. And tethered shooting in Lightroom is one of the easiest ways to showcase that. Okay. Looks like a music stand. This feels pretty solid, feels pretty nice. Cable strap, extender, and flat-tip spigot. So it looks like I can put some accessories in this tray right here. Proudly made in South Korea. Let's see, what is in this box? Studio Titan multi-head. So this is the mount for the camera. All right, last but not least, this should be the stand. We specifically got the mobile version of their kit. There are more heavy-duty ones, but because we want to also take this to Adobe Mac, we need something that is a little bit more portable. So that's why we've gone with the mobile one, and it feels pretty sturdy overall. Here's everything that came with the mobile kit that we bought. I think I opted for an extra pistol grip. Normally, I think it just comes with 2. There is a tray for, I think, accessories, 2 arms, 1 short one, 1 long one. Here's the camera mount, the center column right here, and the base to the Studio Titan, as well as the 3 casters that we'll need for the wheels, and this laptop stand. This may take a bit for me to set up, but cue the montage. The Studio Titan is now assembled, I hope correctly. It's weird that these arms are upside down according to the label. I'm assuming that you drop them in from above, so if it were to fail, gravity just sinks it into the hole instead of it from underneath. I guess technically I could reverse this, but it came out of the box that way, but I'll deal with that later. Maybe it won't bother me. But as you can see, there's 3 pistol grips on it for 3 different accessories. I couldn't fit the basket in this current setup, so maybe if I get another grip I could fit this on, but as it is right now I can't, since I want to use the top one for the light, one for the camera, and then one for the laptop itself. Right now I have the desktop on the tabletop, and I have this ginormous eye lighter. This is a lot bigger than I expected it to be. But I have that to try and bounce in some light upwards towards the desktop, just to fill in some of the shadows, because usually if I just have one light from above, and like middle to bottom, the desktop doesn't get as much light. There's only so much that this could reflect upwards, but towards the center, it kind of gets a little bit darker. So I'm hoping that this will help illuminate or bounce some light back towards the center of the desktop. If you notice what the camera positioning is right now, it's shooting straight into the highlighter, but with the pistol grip, I could just easily raise, and there you go. It's more or less readjust, maybe just a little bit higher. Okay, and just like that, easy peasy, just with one hand. While I was using my right hand to hold this camera, I just used my left hand to adjust. So much of a time saver. Let's go ahead and see how that looks. Looks okay, but there's some adjustments to be made, but setup for the Studio Titan was pretty easy. I'm pretty happy with it so far. I moved the highlighter out of the way just because it was really big and bulky and not actually reflecting any of the light that I wanted. Right now I do have the laptop connected to the Sony a7R V with Tether Tools cables, and I have it connected through Lightroom, so I could just go ahead, click the shutter on the laptop, and it takes the photo and it'll dump it in immediately. Let's see if I want to go lower for the angle that I want from down here. Let's go ahead, drop that down, take the photo. Nice and easy. That was quick. That took maybe like 10 seconds for me to adjust, to drop it down vertically on the y-axis, tilt it up just ever so slightly, just so you get a little bit more of that towering, powerful look. What is pretty nice about the tethered shooting is that there is a bit of a delay from when I click the shutter from it taking the actual photo. I like that delay because that might help to reduce any of the camera shake that I would have from hitting the shutter button on itself. So let's go ahead and click again. About a 1 to 2 second delay, and then it'll take the photo. So even though I'm shooting at 1/25th of a shutter speed, this should help with reducing the camera shake, and it should be a much sharper image. This isn't quite exactly how I would want this image to look, but that's going to be a little bit more fine tuning and tweaking this new setup. But overall, I'm super excited with this new system. This just saves me so much time. And this will also help during Adobe Max when we do the portrait photography, because when people sit down at our booth and people are of different heights, this can just quickly, easily move up and down to accommodate for each guest's height for us to take their photo. That's gonna wrap it up on this quick little video on the Studio Titan Portable. It took me maybe an hour or so to set up. It was pretty easy. The only thing is that these arms are upside down, so I think I can fix that by just flipping this little stud thing upside down, but it seems to be working. I don't think there was any instructions that I saw regarding this, but it seems to be functioning just as I remembered. I first saw these maybe a decade ago now. I'm really excited to start using this for our product photos. It took me 10 seconds to adjust the vertical height and take the next photo, versus where it would have taken me about 1 to 2 minutes to adjust a tripod to adjust that height difference. So I'm really excited to start using this for our product photos, and just excited to be able to save so much time and headache with taking our product photos. And that's all I really have to say for this video. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this quick little look, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.